Stephen Rowley is a writer who grew up in South Portland and has lived in California for quite a while now, but he still considers Maine home, and he is back to talk about his new book. It's called The Guncle Abroad. It's a sequel to the bestseller The Guncle. Stephen Rowley, back in the 207 studio. Thanks for coming in. It's good to have you here.
It's great to be home. Thank you for having me.
You really do enjoy coming back to Maine, don't you?
I love it. This time of year particularly. I live in Palm Springs, California. The hardest adjustment there, it's hot in the summer. Some of the restaurants, some of the businesses say closed for the season in August. And as a Mainer, I have to laugh because August is the season. So it's great to be back in summer.
Well, let's talk about the new book, which, as we said, is a sequel to a novel called The Guncle. That book came out in 2021 in the pandemic. And I mean, it's always nice when people buy your books. That's gratifying for any writer. But that was a book that really connected with readers, wasn't it?
It absolutely did. And I don't think it's something I understood until I was able to tour last year with my book, The Celebrants, which you and I had talked about a little bit. It was a Today Show Read with Jenna book club pick. And so when I was going out, and when I'm out on this tour, the crowds are bigger, they're more enthusiastic, and I thought, wow, people really love Hoda and Jenna. But I think they really love The Guncle, and it just makes my heart swell.
Well, as long as we're name dropping, Jenna loved The Guncle. Whoopi Goldberg said some really nice things about The Guncle. She loved it too.
Yeah, she held it up on The View as one of her favorite books and said that she reads it again and again anytime she needs a laugh. And as a comedy hero of mine growing up, I don't even know what to say to that. It's overwhelming.
So we pick up the story with The Guncle Abroad. It is about Patrick, who is the gay uncle of Maisie and Grant, niece and a nephew. Mm-hmm. And we won't get into all the details, but he's taking them under his wing on a trip to Europe. Now, you didn't want to write it, or you didn't plan to write a sequel when you wrote the first book. What was it that changed in your mind?
I certainly did. I didn't plan on it. I thought that book was complete. I've got strong feelings about sequels, which is often, if you have a happy ending, you've got to undo that happy ending in order to create more drama and room for another story. But at the end of that book, those kids went home from their summer with their uncle, back to a home. They'd lost their mother, and their mother was no longer there. In many ways, their grief journey was just beginning at the end of that first book. And I felt a need to check in on the kids and see, are they okay?
And the loss is real, the pain is real, the heartache is real, but you always write with humor. Mm-hmm. Those two different elements are always woven together. You like to do that, don't you?
I do. Humor for me has always been the way through. And listen, sometimes it's dark humor, sometimes it's self-depreciating humor, but humor has always helped me find my way through. Comedy, tragedy, two sides of the same coin. And I will always approach a story, I think, with a laugh, as I think that's a real way to ingratiate yourself with readers.
You write in the acknowledgments to this book that you're a gay man. In your life, you have seen enormous strides in gay rights, but there has also been a backlash in recent years. And you write that every time you received a hateful comment about The Guncle, you considered it as validation.
Yeah, it's hard to remember. Marriage equality has only been the law of the land less than a decade now. When I first came out in the early 1990s, I didn't think I would see change like that in my lifetime. It just seemed impossibly far away. And so I didn't imagine a life for myself where I was married or had children. And now there are all these beautiful queer families, and we're broadening the definition of family. And I have 5 nieces and nephews in real life, and they sort of inspired the idea for this book. Having kids in my life has been one of the great joys, and I'm so happy to see social change in a way that allows others to do that now.
There has been talk about The Guncle being made into a motion picture. Where does that stand?
Well, we had 2 strikes in Hollywood last year, a writer's strike and an actor's strike, but we're back on track. I hope to see something in production by the end of this year. So next year, who knows? Maybe I'll come back. We'll talk about the movie.
We'll look at movie clips.
Yeah.
That'll be real fun. Your books have been translated into, I believe, 20 different languages. Obviously, you sell the most in English, so that's got to be great. But aside from English, of those other 19, which is the one that kind of warms your heart to know that you have a book in fill-in-the-blank language?
Oh, goodness. Well, there's an Italian translation of my first novel, a book called Lily and the Octopus, and that means so much. There's a lot of Italy in this book. If you read this book, you might ascertain that I really love Italy, so that's touching. This is a hard one to translate. Try translating the word guncle into Polish or whatnot. So we've had to adapt a tiny bit for these foreign translations, but they're great fun.
All right. The name of the book, The Guncle Abroad. Stephen Rowley from South Portland, back in Maine. Thanks again for coming in. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you, and let's go abroad.
All right. We've got more information about the book and the author. You'll find it in the 207 section of our News Center Maine app or website. Stick around, quick break, and then we're going to be right back.